I know. There's an extra podcast. One just came out on Saturday, and today's only Monday, and another one's coming out on next Saturday. So, what's going on? I have way too much I want to cover, especially for January. So, I hope you don't mind a few extra ones getting thrown in there in the mix. Anyway, welcome back. I'm Medium with a mic. This is Kari Bandel, and I want to talk about clean slates. So, you know that feeling that we get in January where we want to declutter everything and start fresh? Well, there's actually some beautiful spiritual and scientific wisdom behind this urge that goes way deeper than just organizing your sock drawer. Let's start with the obvious. January decluttering. We've all been there. The holidays are over, the decorations are down, and suddenly we're looking around our homes thinking, where did all this stuff come from? But here's the thing that most people don't realize. When we declutter our physical space, we're actually creating energetic shifts that ripple into our mental and spiritual well being. There's fascinating research from UCLA's Center for Everyday Lives that shows people living in cluttered homes have higher cortisol levels throughout the day. That's your stress hormone. Literally, clutter creates stress in our bodies. But the flip side, when we clear our spaces, we're not just making room for our stuff, we're making room for new energy, new possibilities, and yes, new thoughts. Think about it from an energetic perspective. Everything holds energy. That pile of papers on your desk, the clothes you haven't worn in 2 years, even that broken picture frame that you keep meaning to fix. When our spaces are cluttered, that energy becomes stagnant. It's like having a river with too many rocks in it. The water can't flow smoothly. But here's where it gets really interesting. The act of decluttering isn't just about the physical items, it's a ritual of release. Every time you pick up an object and decide whether to keep it, donate it, or toss it, you're making a micro decision about what you want in your life. You're literally practicing discernment, which is one of the most important spiritual skills we can develop. Now, let's talk about the mind connection. Have you ever noticed how much clearer you think in an organized space? There's science behind this too. Princeton University researchers found that when our visual field is cluttered, it competes with our attention and decreases performance. But spiritually speaking, when we clear our external environment, we're creating space for our minds to wander, to dream, to receive those intuitive hits we're all seeking. I always tell my clients that decluttering is like tuning a radio. When there's too much interference, you can't hear the music clearly. But when you clear the static, both in your space and in your mind, suddenly you can tune into those higher frequencies, those moments of clarity, inspiration, and yes, psychic insight becomes much more accessible. Here's something I want you to try. Next time you're decluttering, pay attention to the stories that come up around your objects. That sweater from your ex that you can't seem to donate, it's not really about the sweater. It's about what letting go of that relationship truly means. Those books you bought but never read, they might represent dreams you haven't pursued or knowledge you think you should have but don't. This is where the soul aspect comes in. Our possessions often carry emotional weight. They're physical manifestations of our memories, our aspirations, our fears. When we consciously choose what to keep and what to release, we're doing soul work. We're deciding which parts of our past we want to carry forward and which parts we're ready to transform. I love the Japanese concept of mono no aware, the bittersweet awareness of impermanence of all things. When we declutter with this mindset, we're not just getting rid of stuff, we're honoring what these objects meant to us while recognizing that we've grown beyond needing them in our physical space. But here's the real magic, and this is where the spiritual and scientific worlds beautifully merge. When we create physical space, we're also creating neurological space. Our brains are pattern recognition machines, constantly processing visual information. When we reduce visual clutter, we literally free up cognitive resources. That's brain power that can now be used for creativity, problem solving, and yes, intuitive processing. Think about your mind like a computer. When you have too many programs running, everything slows down. Decluttering is like closing those unnecessary programs so your most important applications, your intuition, your creativity, your spiritual connection, can run more efficiently. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but I'm not naturally organized, or my clutter doesn't bother me. And that's okay. This isn't about perfection or maintaining a museum quality home. It's about intentionality. It's about creating spaces that support the life you want to live and the person you're becoming. Start small. Choose one drawer, one corner, one surface. As you sort through items, ask yourself, does this bring me joy? Does it serve my current life? Am I keeping this out of fear or out of love? These questions aren't just about objects, they're about examining the patterns in your life. And here's a beautiful practice to try. As you declutter, set an intention for what you want to invite into that newly created space. Maybe it's more creativity, more peace, more abundance. The universe loves a vacuum. When you create space, life will find ways to fill it, usually with exactly what you need. The clean slate isn't just a January phenomenon, by the way. You can create this energy anytime. Maybe it's a seasonal thing for you. Maybe it's monthly. Or maybe it happens naturally when you're going through life transitions. The key is recognizing that decluttering is a sacred act of self care and spiritual hygiene. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Every object you choose to release is a prayer. It's you saying to the universe, I trust that what I need will come to me. I don't need to hold on to everything out of fear. That's profound spiritual work disguised as household maintenance. So, as you embark on your own clean slate journey, remember that you're not just organizing, you're curating. You're not just cleaning, you're clearing energy. You're not just decluttering your space, you're making room for your highest self to emerge. Now go clean your spaces, one space at a time, and see how much it opens your mind and soul. Until next time, keep listening to those whispers of wisdom.